Hey everybody, just wanted to follow up my email with a quick video around Chapman University. This past summer, we looked at the spring survey results around Chapman U, what people really appreciated, what they liked, and that was the ability to work together and learn together. That was the ability for teachers to lead sessions and study deeply with one another, and also to appreciate everybody's thinking and position to get the best ideas on the table from multiple different perspectives. Some things that we wanted to revise based on your feedback was the ability to choose topics that may or may not last the entire year. So if a group wanted to study a particular area of literacy instruction and they only wanted to meet 3 or 4 times over 3 or 4 months, that they could stop that session, pivot, and choose something different. Have a little bit more flexibility. And certainly people wanted to, instead of pick one topic for the whole group to study, that lots of different topics could be happening throughout the building to study within our instructional goals. So we looked at that feedback and we came up with Chapman U 3.0, where you'll be given the opportunity to choose a topic of your interest and find out if anybody also is interested in studying that very same topic with you. So forming groups based on teacher choice. And then you'll be responsible for running that professional development in the form and the way that you see best for your group's learning. So we got to get all these thoughts organized. That takes a little bit of time. And the building steering committee met with me this week, and we talked a little bit about how we could go about doing it. And a couple different ideas surfaced. One, at our first Chapman U session on Wednesday, we're going to do a process called a thinking routine that actually will get all the ideas out on the table that you want to explore. We've intentionally given you a few weeks to get to know your kids, to look at their data and review, and for you to take stock of what you're noticing about your students, because your professional development choices may be based on their needs. So for example, you might have a lot of kids that need some adaptive tech and you might want to study that particular area. Or you're thinking, wow, I'm getting to know my kids and they need a lot more social thinking. I don't know a whole lot about that because I didn't need that last year with my last group. So now you'll have the opportunity to study and learn with folks that also have that similar interest. But to try to get all 70 people to learn together and sort it out takes a little bit of work. So next Wednesday when we meet, we're going to get all those ideas out on the table. We have a process for it. And then ultimately we're going to take all those ideas and topics that were surfaced, put them on the bulletin board in the workroom, and people are going to have a few weeks in September to look at them, linger around those topics, study those topics, and then ultimately make a selection. We're going to walk you through a process on how those groups will actually form and how you'll submit your group's proposal or the way you're going to do the work about your topic over the next few months, or it could be the entire year. It all depends on how much time you need. We'll show you what that form looks like, how it gets filled out. It's pretty simple. It'll be submitted to myself and then Sean, and then by that October 1st, the first Wednesday in October will be Chapman U, and it'll be the very first session that your group will meet and start their learning together. Off you go on that very first session in October. So looking forward to seeing everybody on Wednesday. What you can do between now and Wednesday, if you get some time, start thinking about what you're interested in studying. Circle back to that instructional goal document. Look at the topics around formative instructional practices, assessment development, differentiation, learning goals. You might be interested in organizational health. You might be interested in student social-emotional health. So all of those things are possibilities as long as they fit in one of those three categories. So use that document to help your thinking. Look at your student data. What are you noticing already in terms of trends? What do you think they need that you may need to study more up on? If you notice that you have a lot of high flyers in mathematics, maybe it's math that you need to go after, and maybe you're interested in that. Maybe it's blended learning. Our steering committee already generated some great ideas. There's stuff from word study vertical conversations to looking at blended learning to development of rich tasks in math. There's tons of topics to study. Our work now is to settle on what each person will be learning and the groups and the formation of their group. So I hope you have a great long weekend. You definitely deserve it. Recharge those batteries. We'll see everybody back on Tuesday, and then Wednesday at 8:10 in the library. That will be our first session. We'll come together and begin the work of forming Chapman University for the 18 and 19 school year. Take care.